Ever pondered how a seemingly insignificant item of clothing, the humble trouser, is tied to the dramatic shifts of power in ancient history? The Goths, a Germanic tribe in the 3rd century, are responsible for this. Living in Eastern Europe, they diverged from the Romans' tunic style. Instead, they championed trousers, shaping our culture profoundly. Unlike the Romans, who primarily wore togas and tunics, the Goths embraced a different style: trousers. As we delve into the past, let's take a closer look at the typical Gothic male clothing around 378 AD. Predominantly, a Gothic man's attire consisted of a tunic, a cloak for harsh weather, and most importantly, trousers. These trousers, often made of wool or linen, were functional and offered ease of movement, particularly for horse riding, a common mode of transportation for the Goths. They were typically loose-fitting and tied at the waist with a belt, providing a practical solution to the cold Eastern European climate. This attire, practical and functional, stood in stark contrast to the Roman fashion of the time, with its focus on draped garments like togas and tunics. The Goths were practical, they were different, and they were about to change the course of history. As the 4th century dawned, the Goths began to migrate towards the Roman Empire, motivated by various factors. This movement ignited tensions, resulting in several confrontations with the Romans. One particularly notable event was the Battle of Adrianople in 378 AD, which resulted in a Goth victory. The Gothic victory signified a pivotal moment in the Roman Empire's downward trajectory, and also influenced Western clothing trends. For this reason, it was a watershed moment in both the history of the Roman Empire and the development of Western fashion. With the Gothic victory at Adrianople, the balance of power shifted. The Goths advanced further into the Roman Empire, carrying their distinct culture and language. Interestingly, they also brought trousers. This simple piece of clothing represented a profound change in Western fashion norms, marking a pivotal moment as it emerged from this historic power shift. As the Goths continued to gain influence, so too did their attire. The usefulness of trousers was undeniable, especially for various activities such as horseback riding and physical work. This clothing item started to gain recognition even among the Romans. The trend was not just a fleeting fashion statement, but a profound cultural shift. The widespread adoption of trousers was indicative of the Goths' deep impact. Over time, the trousers became a symbol of the merging cultures and a testament to the Goths' influence on the Western world. The shift wasn't immediate, though. Despite the Romans' initial resistance, considering trousers as a barbarian emblem, the tides began to change over time. The influence of the Goths, with their unique customs and sartorial style, began to seep into the Roman society. The negative perception of trousers slowly started to dissolve, and by the late 5th century, these garments gained acceptance. Overcoming barriers of prejudice and bias, trousers soon became more than just accepted. They became a staple in the Western wardrobe. So, to sum up, the humble trouser that we wear today is much more than a piece of clothing. It's the symbol of the Goths' impact on Western culture, capturing shifts in power dynamics. Seen as a result of cultural exchange and evolution, trousers stand as a badge of the Gothic migration, the Battle of Adrianople, and their adoption by the Romans. We see that every thread in our trousers is woven with strands of history, each telling its own fascinating tale. Remember this the next time you put on a pair of trousers. You're not just wearing an item of clothing, you're donning a strand of history, a manifestation of historical cultural shifts and power transitions. Despite being largely ignored within the chapters of history, the Goths still have an impact on our daily lives. Their consequences, mostly unnoticed, permeates even the most mundane aspects of our lives. For example, one of the main reasons that we wear pants today is because of the victory of the Goths over the Roman Empire at the Battle of Adrianople in 378 AD. This momentous event led to the decline of the toga and tunic favored by the Romans, and the arrival and eventual global adoption of trousers, the garment of the victorious Goths.